now differences between the Bangladesh's caretaker administration and the military appear to have come to a head, with the army pushing the chief advisor Muhammad Yunus to hold the elections by the end of the year so that an elected government is in place by the year 2026 early. The interim government's inability to fix a timeline for the elections and a controversial proposal to establish a corridor from the Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh to Myanmar's Rakhine state to help Rohingya refugees are among the key issues of divergence between the army and the interim government. Remember, Nobel laureate Yunus became the head of the caretaker administration last August after Sheikh Hasina's ouster. Yunus has told interlocutors from the several countries, including India, that he intends holding elections by the year end provided a certain reforms are carried out. However, this has not been realized till now. Army chief puts Yunus on notice. And what does this mean for the beleaguered Bangladesh? Major General Sudhakarji, of course, is there with me live on the broadcast. As in fact, there are rifts being witnessed in Bangladesh on the question of when is the election going to be conducted. How do you look forward as this ever persistent conflict is only widening, Major General Sudhakarji? Now, locking thorns over the elections is what is going to, in fact, intensify the rift between the army and the caretaker Yunus government.
Simran, as regards this question, my straightforward response is looking at the events unfolding in the South Asian subcontinent, about 15 to 18,000 kilometers away, I would say that whatever limited inputs one is getting here, they are pointing towards some kind of a very serious breakdown between Yunus and the chief of the army staff. The communication breakdown has already taken place. There is a confrontation between the two stakeholders. Yunus is losing its feet, and also uh, the importance being a pivot as an interim kind of a government. I personally feel, as a student of geopolitics, Yunus is not going to last for too long. Either the military or the army of Bangladesh is going to take over, call it anything, be it a military rule or martial law. In all probability, the only factor of some kind of a semblance of balance and stability for Bangladesh can be ensured by the only agency, that is the Bangladesh Army. Towards that end, the Chief of the Army Staff is playing a very mature and responsible role, and he should be allowed to exercise his mandate in a suitable and appropriate manner. But having said that, there are too many stakeholders across seven seas who have their vested interest in Bangladesh. The place from where I am connected to Newsx also has got an important role. There are deep states who are involved in ensuring the instability in Bangladesh. It further is compounded by very deep involvement of China in trying to create trouble and problem in the backyard of India. Further, the ISI of Pakistan, as also multiple stakeholders with regard to the non-state actors, including Hamas, Hezbollah, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Haqqani network. They also, along with the Jamaati Islam, they have got together. They are radicalizing the entire society, which I am confident that the people of Bangladesh will stand up and come up on the streets, fighting against this new evolution of a kind of a radicalized movement for the better and progressive future of Bangladesh. If that doesn't happen, then perhaps the only solution would lie with the chief of the army staff and his entire team of Bangladesh army or the armed forces. He is actually going to be the pivot in ensuring that Yunus-like character is thrown out and some semblance of orderliness and rules-based order is restored back to Bangladesh for the sake of stability, for employment, for restoration of the economic status. Last but not the least, Simran, if you allow me, the reforms which Mr. Yunus is talking about, in any democratic society or country, anywhere in the world, no new reforms can be formulated unless the parties are elected to power. As on today, there is no party elected to power. Yunus is just a kind of a nominated kind of a, personality who's been imposed into the existing architecture of Bangladesh. He has no legal right by democratic norms to institute any kind of reform to anything, be it constitution, be it the election commission, be it the education, or be it the military, or no kind of reform can take place in any country which is predominantly ruled by the norms and conventions of democratic
Very
parameters.
much. I am in fact running a little short on time. Thank you very much, Major General Sudhakar ji, for putting this in complete perspective and also laying out the understanding for what this means for the future of Bangladesh. Now, viewers, with more news and updates on the other side, stay tuned.